Good afternoon from Brooklyn Casey Stadium here in Casey, South Carolina. Today on YouTube, it's Palmetto Prep Minutemen football as they start conference play. It's a battle of unbeatens. Birmingham Prep coming in at 1-0, Palmetto Prep coming in at 3-0. Hi again, everybody. Chris Sheeman and Harrison Huntley, glad to be with you to bring you today's contest. Birmingham coming in, as I mentioned, undefeated, winning their first game of the season, 34-13 against New Rock Prep. It was the first game of the season for Birmingham due to hurricane troubles. Harvey postponed a game against Southern Prep in Louisiana, and then Irma postponed the first meeting between these two teams, which was scheduled for a couple of weeks ago. So Palmetto Prep coming in at 3-0. They won last week 35-8 against University of God's Chosen. 2 touchdowns by Colin Sneed via the throw and 2 touchdowns via the run. One by J.V. Thompson, the other by Akithio Carson. Carson also had a punt return for a touchdown. So both teams undefeated as we start conference play here, and it will be Birmingham Prep who will receive. Kicking off for Palmetto Prep is Christian Ramirez, the local product who started his collegiate career at Benedict. Back to receive for Birmingham, it looks like that's number 24, J.T. Hood, and also number 16, Cord Jenkins. And it's going to be handled actually by number 14, that's Devin Walker, one of the running backs, who takes it over to the far side and is stopped just past the 20, so that's where we will begin. So, what do we know about Birmingham Prep? Not a lot. One game, they don't have a ton of stats available to us, but I do know they like to run the football. It was a three-headed attack. Devin Walker, Spanky Watson, Derek Dunnigan, who got the start last week and who got the bulk of the runs, and who we expect to see starting this week is Devin Walker. Speaking of starters, let's give you the rest of the Birmingham Prep starters as they have it 1st and 10 here on the 22. Left tackle is Justice Joyner, and at left guard it's Malik Ball. At center, Mason Sanders. At right guard, Naquan Washington, and at right tackle, it's DeAndre Jones. Meanwhile, the receivers, number 88, Mike Simpson, number 21, Eric Booker, number 38, Bryce White, the quarterback, number 12, Bryce Verbal, and the running back, number 14, Devin Walker. We'll set the defense for you after the second down and long play, 2nd down and 12. Looks like we have a minute, so we'll do it now. On the line, it's number 97, that's Hayden Mitchum. Deshaun Bright also in there. Cam Wilson, number 79. Number 99, Kenny Terry. Shotgun now for Bryce Verbal and more stoppage, so I'll continue with the starters here. Linebackers, number 36, Ricky Crowell. Number 37, Truself Cooper. Number 42, Tay Ellerby. Number 18, Chase Hartley. In the secondary, it's number 14, Draquan Lindsay. Number 21, Aaron Muzan. That's your safeties. And the cornerback, number 24, Quante Williams. So we have a timeout. I'll bring in my color guy here, Harrison. Good to be with you once again. And what are you looking for out of this for both of these teams?
I think the battle is going to be fought and won or lost in the trenches today. You see both the offensive lines are very, very big and very physical. And with a team like Birmingham that wants to run a lot, this is going to be the biggest battle to focus on is Birmingham's offensive line versus Palmetto's defensive line.
Well, DeAndre Jones over at right tackle, we don't have the heights and weights
Absolutely.
And all that for Birmingham, but he's got to be at least 320 as they try to run it up the middle again with Devin Walker. And the defense holding its own. Cam Wilson was in there, also Tay Ellerby and several others, so that'll bring up a 3rd down and long now for Birmingham.
Well, we were just talking about how DeAndre Jones, he's on the right side right now. They've run twice to the left. Hope they go to the right at some point, see what they can do something with him.
So shotgun now for Verbal. He's been in the spread for most of this drive so far. 3rd down and 13. 4 receivers set. The pressure is on. Cam Wilson, big 97, taking him down all the way back at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, there you go. Like I said, one loss in the trenches, and that's 3 big plays there for Prep's defensive line, getting all up in the backfield, and 3 plays for a loss right there.
I got you.
So 3 now. And it will be, is that Brian Bell? That's number 2, right? That's Brian Bell who will kick.
Yeah, we good.
Birmingham, you can guess, they're from Birmingham, Alabama. A lot of players locally. There's also a few players from out of state, Georgia, Ohio, Illinois, Florida.
Legal formation coach.
Bell got hit. Is there a flag? No. And it bounces. It's going to be good field position for Palmetto Prep, although it will roll to their own 48. So, set the starters for the offense at left tackle Tyler Crawford, left guard Bryce Stewart, at center Tyler Macbeth, at right guard Derek Frazier, and at right tackle is Austin Harris. The tight end for Palmetto Prep, when they have him in there, is Jordan Mathis. At one receiver is Sherman Smith. The other receiver, number 16, Kyrie Haynes. Third receiver, number 2, Cam Brown, and the fourth is number 13, that's Kadarius Jackson. The quarterback, Colin Sneed, he's number 12, and Sam Oxendine, it looks like, is going to get the start. So, correction, Sam Oxendine getting the start with number 33. That's J.B. Thompson in the backfield. So, Oxendine just 6 of 12 on the season, hands off to Thompson, runs to the left and gains about 4. J.B. Thompson on the season, 18 rushes, 152 yards, averaging almost 8.5 yards per rush.
Yeah, that's the thing about Palmetto Prep is they've got 2 quarterbacks. They like to use them both. We saw them both in the last game, and they really want to run the ball more. They slide up in this passing shotgun style, but the key is the running game out of that, because you can run out of the shotgun. You can do whatever you want.
2nd and 6, 2 receivers to each side of Oxendine. And off again. No, Oxendine's going to keep it straight ahead and takes it near. He's going to be stopped at the 46-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and 4.
And yeah, Colin Sneed right now getting talked to by one of the Palmetto Prep coaches. I would expect to see him later on, earlier in the season, trying to figure out who you want and swapping quarterbacks out, especially if this game gets a little more in Palmetto Prep's favor.
Sneed, 68% completion rate, 5 touchdowns and just 1 pick. Oxendine's a good one too, though, as he throws on 3rd down, and it's complete down to the 25. Catch on the play. Niles Lewis is 5th of the season. So Palmetto Prep moving the football here as Oxendine came in just 6 out of 12, completing his first pass as a starter here today.
That's a great little play there, out of the pocket on the run, and finds a man downfield. Perfect 3rd down play right there for Palmetto Prep and Sam Oxendine.
So 1st and 10, handoff to Thompson. Thompson stopped up the middle, number 57, Jarius Upshaw with the tackle.
So far, a very strong defensive line for Birmingham, but their secondary has burned them at least on 1 pass, and there have been a few more open receivers even on the plays they weren't passing.
So 3 runs and a pass so far. 2nd down and long now for Palmetto Prep. Oxendine looking to throw over the middle. That's through the fingers of Niles Lewis.
Yeah, and there were 2 Birmingham players that had a shot at that one, and that's an interception you've got to have there. If 2 of your players can get a hand on it, that usually means that you've got a good chance. And almost wholesale subbing here from Birmingham, as I'm guessing they're going to expect a pass here on 3rd down.
3rd down, and we'll call it a long 8. Palmetto Prep looking to remain unbeaten. Since we last spoke, they defeated Ferrum's junior varsity as well. Oxendine dancing around will force it over the middle, and that pass is incomplete and almost intercepted by number 24, that's J.T. Hood.
And I think that's got to be a pass that Oxendine just falls on. When he tripped there and had the ball almost on the ground, you can't be throwing that. He threw that into 3 guys right there. Very lucky that followed incomplete.
Christian Ramirez will try the field goal, 3 out of 7 on the season, a long of 50. The holder is number 3, that's Brantley Campbell.
They should be set, coach.
So Ramirez,
Good block, good block.
that was blocked. And no good. So 8:15 left to go. Both teams with a drive. Neither team able to put points on the board yet. So we will take a quick break and we'll come right back. Welcome back, everybody. First quarter, Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you here at Palmetto Prep in Brooklyn Casey High School. And another run attempt this time. Nothing doing yet again as Devin Walker is stopped for no gain.
Yeah, that run
Correction,
offense.
sorry, Harrison, that was Derek Dunnigan on the run.
Yeah, that rushing offense still hasn't quite clicked yet for Birmingham as they're still trying to get through this Palmetto defensive line. And they're going to have to establish that. That's their bread and butter.
The tackles on the left side, Justice Joyner and DeAndre Jones are the two biggest that they have. Now Verbal looks to throw, being rushed. Will float it up. Nice play as it's complete to Bryce White, the wide receiver, and he'll take it. Let's see where he stepped out of bounds as the official's taking his time to get there, but I think it's inside Palmetto Prep territory, and he's going to be downed at the 47, they say.
Yeah, that was pretty helter-skelter play right there.
Just walk up the sideline.
He was taking his time.
Come on, buddy. Nearing the midway point here of quarter number one. Verbal in the shotgun, three receivers over to the far side. Pass complete over the middle, and that's number 86, Jesse Reagan. Reagan was one of those players. They have a lot of wide receivers who played running back in high school. And Reagan's probably got some family in the stands as he's from Irma, South Carolina, which I believe that's the upstate, right?
No, that's around here. That's just north of Columbia.
Yeah. Second down after the 3-yard pickup and 7 for Verbal here. Verbal the option pitch, gets it to Dunnigan. Dunnigan runs right, has the first down, and dragged down close to the 35. So Birmingham Prep, the Cardinals on the move here on their second drive.
Well, and they're starting to go a little bit outside the tackle now, and it's working really well for them going to that right side. And I think as long as they can establish this run, they'll get the passing game going, and Palmetto Prep will make some adjustments if they want to stay in this.
So 1st and 10. Birmingham has it at the 36-yard line. In motion is White. Verbal's going to keep it, spins, and gains about 2 or 3. Bryce Verbal did not play in 2016 with his high school in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Baylor. He was a backup in 2015. So he's really given the opportunity. I expected to see Darius Brooks, who came from Houghton, Louisiana. You know who else came from there? Dak Prescott.
Oh, wow.
Same coach. Bryce Verbal, 2nd and 8, and flags are down. 4:38 left to go here in the opening quarter. Chris Sheeman, Harrison Huntley, glad to be with you. Our second of 4 regular season games. Then we'll have the championship on November 19th. So false start, and that moves the ball back to the Minutemen 40-yard line.
Yeah, you see both teams running this sort of spread option offense so far, and it's a lot of pressure on both quarterbacks who have not seen a whole lot of action in the last few weeks.
Verbal facing some pressure, and he is sacked. That's number 38, Ricky Crowell Jr., 36, excuse me.
You gotta feel bad for Verbal there. He had just no chance on that. When he dropped back, looked up, and saw 2 guys in his face, and just went ahead and tucked it. Smart play there.
So 3rd down and forever as Birmingham has to take it to the 26-yard line. So it's 3rd down and 22.
And you see the defensive backs for Palmetto backing up a little bit, giving a little bit of space in the coverage.
Well, the line got through on the screen attempt. That passes over the head of T. Brown, the fullback. And Birmingham's drive, which looked promising at the beginning, Harrison, kind of fizzled us out there.
Yeah, 2 sacks will do that to you, though. When you drop back and lose 5 to 10 yards, your drive's going to stall pretty quick.
You should be off the heel of.
Back to punt is that number 3 or number? That's number 2. That's Brian Bell. Thank you, Harrison. Back to receive, Akifio Carson, 4 returns for 30 or 13 yards on the punt return so far this year. It's going to bounce, and a great punt from Bell. That will be down at the 5. 3:18 left to go in quarter number 1. We'll step aside again as Palmetto Prep gets it for the second time here today. Welcome back, Palmetto Prep. Bringing back in Colin Sneed, 1st and 10. They're backed up, though. Handoff goes to Thompson, and Thompson takes it for about 5 yards out to the 10-yard line. So J.B. Thompson getting the bulk of the carries today. Devin Hairston had most rushes, or actually J.C. Howell had the most rushes, coming in at 24. But it's really those 3 guys. Marquez Bostic, the fullback, we might also see at some point. Some folks checking in on YouTube. You can use the YouTube chat. Quadrilin, Paul, I believe, saying hi. Also a Brian Bell fan. He's punted the ball very well here. Palmetto Prep backed up, and that pass is incomplete, intended for Cam Brown over on that far side. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 5.
That's a dangerous pass there. Very close to being lateral. I think he was about a yard ahead of Sneed there, but definitely not a spot want to be in 3rd and about, 5 here from the 15.
3rd and 5 actually from the 10 with 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. 2:37 to go here in quarter number 1. Sneed's 68% completion rate. He's being rushed. Tries to get rid of it. Does to Thompson. And Thompson able to get out of the end zone. My goodness. How about that rush for Birmingham Prep? It was number 52, D'Angelo Young, getting in there first. And then that was almost disastrous.
Well, it saved a safety there. I don't really know what Sneed's trying to do there. He drops back and thinks about taking a sack and then finds himself in the end zone and has to make some weird evasive move to get the ball out of his hands.
Mark McCloskey back to kick. Here comes the pressure. McCloskey just gets it away. Back to receive is number 27, Benji Marshall, but it'll be downed at the 42-yard line. So good field position for Birmingham Prep here. The Cardinals taking over, Harrison, and they marched the football down the field, and a couple of defensive lapses and then penalties killed their last drive. But both teams tried to knock on the door. If you're just joining us, a missed field goal by Christian Ramirez was the lone scoring opportunity so far for Palmetto Prep.
Well, Birmingham looked like they were well on their way to get some points on the board last time, but the offensive line just broke down, and Verbal found himself rushed on every single pass.
So 1st and 10 now for Verbal and the offense. The fake and handoff to number 16, that's Cord Jenkins. Cord Jenkins from Miami, Florida. He was a Dade County All-Star, and that's a big deal down there.
Absolutely.
In Miami. He was actually the game All-Star MVP last year. So he's listed as a receiver, but probably one of those guys who can, do a couple of different things.
Well, nowadays you need your running backs to be able to have some hands on them, and a lot of times you find guys that play both, especially in college.
Play action fake, and that long throw is caught. The comeback on that far side by number 84, C.J. Pickens. So Pickens takes it down near the 25-yard line, and here we go again with the Cardinals with 1:06 to go in quarter number 1.
Yeah, I haven't seen a kicker yet, but you would assume that inside the 30 would be a pretty good bet for at least a field goal at this point.
Hi to Dexter. We have quite a few Cardinals fans who are probably going to be watching this one, as well as Minutemen fans. Glad to have you all. My check says Palmetto Prep, but you know, it's a party for everybody, so don't be shy there in the YouTube chat or using the hashtag Palmetto Prep. 1st and 10 now. Run up the middle. Again, it's Cord Jenkins, and a minimal gain, again, of about 2.
Hey, Coach.
Well, I don't know if you saw or not, but a few plays ago, Hayden Mitchum went down with a little, with an ankle maybe hobbling off the field for Palmetto Prep, and that could really affect the line. He's been one of the ones that's been all over the backfield for Palmetto Prep. Haven't seen him come back yet.
I'm looking at Justice Joyner, who's a man who just loves his football. He's dancing along to the music as the quarter expires. Comically so. No score yet. It's been a good start to this one for both of these teams. Birmingham Prep and Palmetto Prep scoreless after 1. We'll take a break, come back, and bring you quarter number 2 here in just a couple of minutes. As we get set for quarter number 2, Chris Sheeman, Harrison Huntley, glad to be back with you. Brookland Casey High School Stadium is where we're at. A pretty nice field, pretty good facilities here. Nice place to play some football. There you see the next broadcast. Right now, some work to do for the Palmetto defense as it's 2nd down and 7. Option pitch out to Jenkins, and he's going to be wrapped up, but a flag is down. So we'll see what the call is here. Palmetto Prep 3-0. They're coming off a victory last week here at home, and back on September 4th, they went on the road and defeated Ferrum's junior varsity 33-23. J.C. Howell, a 26-yard touchdown run. Colin Sneed, 4 touchdown throws in that game, and Chase Hartley also played well on special teams with an interception and fumble recovery, I should say, on defense, not on special teams. It's been a long weekend, folks. Apologies in advance. So,
yeah, that flag, legal motion on Birmingham will knock them back to about a 3rd and maybe a 12 now.
So it's a 5-yard penalty, as Harrison mentioned, 3rd and 12. This is kicking range. If they have a decent kicker, it's always Verbals looks to throw. He's got a receiver on the near side, and that's going to be just short of the 1st down. The reception by number 21, Eric Booker, who graduated in 2013.
Yeah, I think they're going to be bringing the field goal unit on here.
4th down and about 2. They'll try to put some points on the board here.
Well, maybe not. There's still a quarterback out there.
Yeah. They may go jumbo here and try to stand up to the defense. So far, up the middle has not worked for Birmingham Prep.
You got 5-4 on the play clock.
Coming in is Spanky Watts. Watts gets the run, takes it left. Oh, nice vision, but there is flags down as he takes it to the 2-yard line, but hold on.
Wow, I like that play call, too.
Yeah.
With everyone backed in and you go outside. But a false start.
Oh, man.
He called false start, coach.
It's a fun play call, though. You get everyone lined up, you go up the middle, and then you go off the tackle, and huge gain. But
Yeah, Birmingham Cardinals shooting themselves in the foot there, so it'll be 4th down and 7 now. And again, we don't know. They don't have a kicker listed on their roster, so.
well, I'm not sure. I mean, there was about a second left on the play clock there, so I'm sure there are a lot of jumbled signals on that snap count and everything, and it's tough to stay in your cadence on that.
So it looks like they will still go for it. Joey Purifoy is in. He's actually a lineman, a defensive lineman, and they had a linebacker in, but they're going to shuffle people in, and with 4 on the shot clock, they're going to have, or on the shot clock, on the game clock. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Birmingham needs a timeout. I need a timeout. We'll take a break here and come back and bring you 4th and 7 here in just a minute. Well, Palmetto Prep wants to thank their 2017 corporate sponsors, Phenom Elite, some of the best gloves you could find. I could even catch a pass with Phenom Elite gloves. Athletic Advantage, also Merchant Law Firm, and USC Sports Medicine. 4th and 7, 12:15 to go here in quarter number 2. Verbal in the shotgun, and there's going to be another false start. It looks like one of the receivers jumped. C.J. Pickens. I saw him dancing around out there. So the Cardinals again, Harrison, Chris Sheeman, Harrison Huntley with you, by the way. Harrison, they are making strides and then shooting themselves in the foot here.
Yeah, they're back to a 4th and 10. They had probably a 4th and 1, maybe 4th and inches there, and
how was that a 3-yard penalty? It wasn't 4th and 5, was it?
it was 4th and 5.
Okay.
Because it was 4th and 1, and then a 5-yard penalty, and another 5-yard penalty now.
So it's a long 10 here for Verbal and the offense. Verbal facing pressure goes just a little bit too high. Incomplete pass intended for Cam Pugh, but Palmetto Prep does the job there, and I think that pressure forced that high throw, Harrison.
Yeah, it's definitely back to their regular form of rushing Verbal to make a throw. It was still a pretty decent throw, just a little bit too high. But a good job by Palmetto Prep to anchor down. They got a little bit of help from some penalties, but in the same way, a stop is a stop.
Palmetto Prep rushes a little more than they like to throw, 108.3 yards rushing per game compared to just under 100 passing. Colin Sneed back in at quarterback. Play action as he's hit as he throws. Pass is complete to the far side. And again, it's Niles Lewis for a gain of about 4 with a flag down.
Yeah, well, this could be a hold just by who threw it and the location of the flag. Let's see what the call is here.
So illegal receiver downfield is the call on Palmetto Prep, and both teams are sloppy here in quarter number 2. The first quarter didn't even feel like it took 15 minutes, and this one has struggled to get going. 10:50 and counting.
Had almost every play have a flag on it so far.
1st and 15 now as J.C. Howell in at running back. Sneed rolls to his right, facing pressure, trying to run, and he's going to be sacked. Number 52 was there. That's D'Angelo Young making the stop for the Cardinals.
Well, that looked a lot like the play before that as well. Same kind of idea where Snead wants to roll out, but the entire front seven and the entire secondary was all on that right side, and they were ready for him.
They call it a loss of 2, so it'll be 2nd down and 17 now. Palmetto Prep going the wrong way here. 2 receivers to each side for Snead. Handoff to Howell. Howell goes straight ahead and gets those sack yards back, but it will be 3rd down and long.
We'll open it up here, I'm sure, as Snead heads to the sideline to get the next play call. I haven't seen them really throw a lot of long passes yet today. A lot of those short, wide receiver screens, bubble screens, that sort of thing. It's what Palmetto likes to do, and they're not a team that wants to go long every play.
Quay Thorne, hi to you. Also, Tina B shouting out on the YouTube chat. You can chat with other fans on the YouTube chat. 3rd down and 15 now for Snead in the offense. Snead has time, throws deep, and it's intercepted by Birmingham. Pass intended for Cam Brown, and picking it off was Brian Bell.
Well, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but the term arm punt, is that's essentially what that was right there. Is you got 3rd and long, you throw it up, and the interception does probably about what a punt would have done at that point.
Yeah, that's a fair point, and Colin Snead thought he had certainly a lot of protection, which hasn't been the case so far here today for really either quarterback. Harrison mentioned the keys to the game for him at the beginning was, the lines, and so far the defensive lines have been holding their own. Change of quarterback now for Birmingham Prep. Coming on is Darius Brooks, and I mentioned him in the early going. Brooks, coached by one of the great coaches down there in Louisiana, dual threat as you see him run it straight ahead for minimal gain on 1st down. Darius Brooks, Houghton High School in Louisiana, coached by Rodney Guin, who helped develop Dak Prescott, among other great quarterbacks, collegiate quarterbacks. He's a dual threat, as I mentioned. His senior year in high school, he completed 56% of his passes, 690 yards, 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and also had 368 yards rushing with 8 rushing touchdowns. So this is their big play guy, even though Bryce Verbal got the start. Brooks is a guy to key on for the defense here. 2nd and 10. He's looking to throw, now a run, and straight ahead for very little, thanks to true self Cooper, who had 12 tackles coming in, Harrison.
And that was a play where I think they were trying to go long with Brooks. They had 3 guys out at good 10, 20 yards, but in the end, Brooks didn't see anything he liked, just tucked it down and got a couple of yards there, but still facing considerable distance for 3rd down.
You think he's wearing number 7 for Mike Vick?
Yeah, maybe. Definitely one of the better quarterbacks that with his legs.
I mean, I've seen only a couple of plays from him, but he's got those similar, like you said,
he does.
His motions. And so 3rd down and 8, we'll call it. Deep throw, and that is going nowhere. In fact, it was almost intercepted.
That was another arm punt right there, basically, if that would have been picked off.
That was Josh Williams who almost came up with the INT. So 6:48 left to go here in quarter number 2. Palmetto Prep, I want to say thanks to their corporate sponsor, Substation 2 just down the road, also Vella's Restaurant. All of these on Knox Abbott Drive here in KC. Wendy's, Ocean View Seafood, and Monterey Mexican Restaurants. All of those folks. Also a big thanks to State Street Pub in West Columbia.
Kind of mirror image drives right here for the two teams. A couple 3 and outs with some quarterback pressure and just not a lot of running going on.
You don't see many defensive games in college anymore. Really even in high school anymore. So it's
I know the one last night was Penn State and Iowa that at one point was an 8-7 ball game.
Was it really?
With safety and a bunch of field goals. It was a big defensive struggle last night.
Brian Bell will again kick this. Had a good punt that was down at the 5-yard line last time. Just got that one away, and that one will bounce out of bounds at the 35, and we'll see where they spot it. But the Minutemen will take over here. And
They trying to come out punt.
looks like it'll be Colin Snead again at quarterback. Sam Oxendine started the ball game, but we've seen Snead now in the last 3 possessions.
Which is surprising considering that Oxendine led perhaps the most successful drive so far this game on the missed field goal to open the game.
So here we go, 1st and 10 at the 35, empty backfield, 5 receivers set. Snead dancing around, passes complete to number 4, that's J.C. Howell, and flag is down.
I think it's going to be a face mask because his helmet landed about 5 yards away from him right there. So I'll have to sit out of play when he lost his helmet.
6:34 left to go here in the first quarter, and it was a personal foul face mask.
Yeah.
So that's a big boost.
Well, J.C. Howell's face mask landed about 5 yards away from the play there, and he just got that thing ripped off.
J.B. Thompson coming back in. Thompson had his big game during that first game that we saw against Gulf Coast Prep. He's lined up as a slot receiver on the near side with 3 receivers to the far side. 1st and 10 at the 46. That's a backward pass. That's going to go out of bounds. And will they say it was forward or not?
That's
because
be
if
a
that's
lateral.
backwards, it goes out there, and they're going to spot it there.
Well, spot right where he dropped it, and yeah, you can see on the stream here pretty well. It's lined up with the ball and just went straight from the pass to the sideline.
That's going to be a loss of 8. 2nd down and 18. Both teams going backwards here.
Well, if
The
you're
defensive pressure, really.
yeah, and if you're going through that kind of lateral, you gotta make sure you complete that because if you throw it out like that, it just goes a sack.
Coming in motion is Thompson. He'll get a high throw and get whacked. Nice hit by Brian Bell to make sure that was incomplete, and it'll be 3rd down and 18.
He just about did. Again, I'm not sure if that was a lateral incomplete pass, but back-to-back plays where they've tried to dump it off to the running back, and Snead's almost airmailed it.
Rashim and Harrison Hundley, glad to be with you. 5:06 left to go until halftime. I got nobody to talk to at halftime, so I'm going to take a break, take a nap, recharge our batteries.
Absolutely.
We've been working hard this week.
It's been a long weekend, a lot of football.
It's fun, though. Colin Snead now with a 3rd and 18. Snead facing a pressure. It's a screen, and Birmingham was ready for it. Number 24, that's J.T. Hood again, making another big play.
Yeah, trying to open up the middle for that short pass right there and end up throwing into the middle about 5 Birmingham players.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So here comes Mark McCloskey to kick it. Back to receive Brian Bell. Wait a minute, let me double check that. Number 21 is Eric Booker, who's back to receive. He's standing at his own 20. No pressure at all. As McCloskey kicks it, and it takes a Birmingham bounce and goes out of bounds. So good field position to come for Birmingham Prep. The Cardinals, you guessed it, Birmingham, Alabama is where they call home, one of the great civil rights towns. Really, can make the case that all the big cities in Alabama are great civil rights towns. I went to the Civil Rights Museum in Montgomery, Alabama, a few years ago, and that is one of the most necessarily depressing places that you'll ever want to go to. I mean, it's real in that building. There's snipers on top, and it's another world. But Birmingham, one of those great cities in Alabama for equal rights, and the Cardinals right now looking to march. And once again, Brooks is in at quarterback, and the handoff goes nowhere. Thanks to 99 Kenny Terry, 97 Hayden Mitchum, and I believe True Self Cooper was in there again. Correction, Ricky Crowell Jr. was in there.
You talk about Birmingham with football, also the home to Legion Stadium, the site of the Iron Bowl for a long time. Now UAB resurrecting the program there.
I got to tell you an Alabama football story the next time we have a timeout.
Absolutely.
Here. 2nd down and 12 on their own 38 are the Cardinals. Brooks looking to throw on the near side. That's over everybody's head. It was intended for 85, Travis Johnson.
There's a flag in the backfield. I think it's going to be a hold.
Well, what do you do here if you're Palmetto Prep? Do you give them another down or do you decline it?
Yeah, it looks like they're going to decline it, I believe. I think I'm talking about it right now. Nope, they're going to accept that penalty and stick them for the long second down. I guess trying to play the field position game right now, trying to see if, I haven't seen a lot of long punts. There have been some good line drive punts from Birmingham Prep, but, you stick them back inside their 10, not a whole lot they can do.
So, second down and 22. Cardinals need to take it to midfield now. They have 3 receivers in on the near side. Brenton G. Marshall, a big threat at receiver. He's the closest to your screen, so look out for him. They're actually going to run it. Not a bad idea. Try to draw off sides. Not much happening, though, and it'll be third down and long. Third down and 18, we'll call it.
Yeah, and you got to hope that Palmetto will back up a little bit here. Yeah, they still have, 4 or 5 guys in the box right now, as Birmingham brings out at least 4 receivers and a man in the backfield.
Man in the backfield is Walker, who ran that ball for 4 yards now. 2:45 left to go here in quarter number 2. Brooks will take it left side, escapes one tackler and drags a couple others to the 45, but he'll be 5 yards shy of that first down.
I don't think that was a design run just with the down and distance, but he got quite a bit of that back, and I wonder if they'll go for it here with just a couple minutes left. I think they're going to go punt team now, though.
Akithio Carson back to receive. We expect Brian Bell to punt, mainly because we have their coaches next to us, and they're telling us what they're going to do.
There's some drawbacks to that, but also an advantage as we know a lot of their play calls.
So does everybody else who's watching. Here's Brian Bell now, kicking from his own 35. Another good kick. As that bounces. Oh, is that going to get out of bounds? It did. Wow. We'll see where they mark it. They're going to mark it at about the half-yard line.
What a punt right there for Brian Bell, who's listed as a free safety.
Yeah, he's a safety. He was a running back in high school. Again, another older player who graduated all the way back in 2013, back in the heyday of 4 years ago.
He's learned how to punt, and he's doing a pretty good job of it so far.
Yeah, a couple of great punts. First one was inside the 5-yard line. Now this one inside the 1. So Colin Sneed has J.C. Howell in at running back.
And it's got to be a run here. I think with 1:46, I think you got to run it a little bit and just go into halftime scoreless.
Sneed is going to run and gain probably a half yard. Stop on the play by number 28. That's Devontae Young.
Yeah, I don't know if Birmingham has enough timeouts to really make a difference here, but I want to think about calling some of them, as I don't see Palmetto moving very much past the 5 or so here, as they can't afford to throw any passes this deep in the end zone.
Again, we'll take a break at halftime, so you can go away and check in on NFL games or do some chores or whatever you need to do and come on back. J.C. Howell. Oh, it's a fake. Play action faked it to Howell. They whacked Howell. The pass was caught on the far side for very little gain. What a fake by Collins.
He faked me out. I didn't even see it happening.
I believe
it's going to be a timeout for Birmingham. That was an amazing play action fake for T there. I thought he ran and Howell got absolutely destroyed, but it was a great play action fake and nice throw and a good stretch there that, my goodness, probably saved a safety there.
Let me tell my story while we have a timeout. I drove through Auburn, Alabama the day of the kick, and I was listening to Alabama's radio, or Auburn's radio, it was.
The kick six.
Yes, the kick six. During that, that great rivalry down there, and I drove through Auburn, and I mean, it was just incredible because there were no other cars on the road. Then all of a sudden, about 45 minutes later, all these Alabama fans going 100 miles an hour down the road. Get out of my way, I want to get home.
Trying to get home.
Oh, I love you, Bama fans. So that was funny. That was funny. Get out of their way. Colin Sneed, trickeration the last time. They're going to throw it again. And the tackle's made as the pass complete over on the far side to Cam Brown. But Palmetto will have to punt here. And there's about 13 seconds between play and game clock here.
I imagine they're going to use every single one of those seconds on the play clock, try to get as little amount of time.
We had enough. I forgot JT saying he was sitting
Mark
there.
McCloskey again. He's had a couple of punts.
He was seeing too high.
And 2 men back now for Birmingham.
I seen number 2 wide open. That's why I was
That's
looking
number 27, Benji Marshall on the near side. And over on the far side is likely Eric Booker.
They're going to take the delay of game there, probably half the distance to the goal, or they're going to call timeout.
Yeah, I would not take that penalty. You need every yard you can get
Well,
when you're backed up in the end zone.
they
So
let the clock
Palmetto
get down
Prep
to
does
0.
call time.
Clock got down to 0, and then the whistle blew for timeout. It's going really close there, but yeah, 13 seconds, about, call it the 6-yard line.
Again, we'll take a break at halftime, so you guys can go away, 15-minute break or 10-minute break, depending on how they like to do it here. Usually it's 15 in college, but you never know.
Sometimes coaches agree that,
Right.
they know what they're going to do, they know what they're going to say, and get right back out there.
Birmingham's not a short drive, folks.
Nope.
The worst part is you got to go through Atlanta. Man, that is, even on a Sunday.
Yeah, they're coming through I-20 and everything. It's not a fun drive.
McCloskey again to kick.
And a false
And
start.
flags are down. Oh, no. Did Palmetto Prep shoot themselves?
Mm-hmm.
So less room for McCloskey to work with now.
So that'll put him at about maybe the 1-yard line, it looks like. McCloskey's standing just about on that out-of-bounds line in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, he's got to be real careful. The snap has to be perfect here. I'm not sure if it's Tyler Macbeth or not.
Yeah, they're out to the 3. It's going to be half the distance to the goal instead of the regular 5
Right.
yards. And they had it the 1 originally, and that was
Yeah, no.
that was going to be tight.
So the kick is away, and it's a good one. It's handled by Benji Marshall. Marshall looking to evade to the 35 and taken down at the 34 with 1 second left. So
And flag flies in really late there. I'll just see what that is. And that could have a lot of effect here, whether Birmingham Prep wants to go for it or just take a knee.
So we'll see what the call is. With 1 second left, I think there's going to be, I mean, I'm always in favor of taking a shot. It is on Birmingham, though, so we'll see what the call is.
It's going to be a block in the back, knocks him back 10 yards. They'll start at about the 43-yard line with exactly 1 second left. So whatever they throw has got to be to the end zone, and we'll see. Looks like they're going to bring in Brooks, who I would assume has the stronger arm.
So Brooks back out there. Bryce Verbal started this afternoon. Darius Brooks came in the second quarter. This one is looking like, what do we have, another timeout?
I didn't see anyone call timeout. Maybe perhaps. But either way, I guess one of the sides wanted to go out and see how everyone looked and then get a chance to talk it over.
That's fine in basketball, but let's play it.
I don't know if you saw yesterday, but in the Florida State-NC State game, they had a triple icing of the kicker right before halftime.
No,
Because
see that?
Florida State was going to be kicking
Did
a
it
field
work?
goal. No, he nailed the field goal.
Good.
No problem.
Good. Who was it? Was it Florida State?
NC State had the timeout. They had 3 timeouts, and they burned them all trying to make Florida State miss.
I believe that from NC State. I really do. Let's thank some more Palmetto Prep corporate sponsors. Tony Pizza over on Knox Abbott Drive here in KC, and Teapot Chinese Restaurant, 829 Knox Abbott Drive here in KC. Krispy Kreme, they're on, guess what, Knox Abbott Drive at 1200 block here in KC. Marco's Pizza, 514 Knox Abbott Drive, which is, by the way, if you see it over to the left, that's Knox Abbott Drive. Also Zaxby's. So here we go, 1 second to go. And Brooks will hand it off. Devin Walker runs to the right, gains nothing, and the first half comes to an end. Very defensive-minded, and a good defensive battle between these two rivals. The Cardinals and Minutemen are tied at 0. We'll take a break for 15 minutes, come back and bring you the second half play-by-play here in just a few moments. You're watching Palmetto Prep Football here on YouTube. We'll be back after the half. No score yet between Palmetto Prep and Birmingham Prep. Chris Sheeman, Harrison Huntley, glad to be back with you. Second 30 to come here. Palmetto Prep will receive to start off this second half. You know, Harrison, at this point, one play changes the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, 0-0, no score at all. I mean, I was saying earlier, even like a safety, like a 2-0 game wouldn't surprise me at this point. Just a lot of stalemate so far between these two teams, and I don't see anything changing, really. I think these teams are just really evenly matched so far.
By the way, while we have a moment, T. Brown's going to kick off here. I want to say thanks to Charlie Dudley, the assistant coach at Birmingham Prep. One of the reasons why I know so much about them is he was really helpful and communicative with us all week long. So, Charlie, shout out, brother. Thank you for the help. And give me a call if you want to learn how to do this. He had asked. Maybe Birmingham Prep fans will have this for you at some point. On the return, Keithio Carson taking it to the 30. So first down for Palmetto Prep here. And Palmetto Prep in that spread has really moved the football well this season. 35 points in their last game, 33 against Ferrum. It was their JV, but that's still good numbers, and 30 in their opening game victory. So they've scored over 30 in all three games. The competition is not quite as good as this Birmingham Prep team has been.
You
still
expect more than 0, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what Colin Sneed and the offense can do. Sam Oxendine started the first couple of series, but we've seen Colin Sneed ever since then. In motion is Mathis, handoff to Thompson. Thompson straight ahead, and a good gain on first down. And that's one of the things that we really haven't seen so far here today.
Yeah, a strong rushing attack right through there. There's a huge hole in the line, which, yeah, like you said, that's new. I've not seen any kind of pressure from the offensive line. They're finally starting to figure out, I guess, which guys to handle on the Birmingham front four.
Bryce Stewart and Tyler Crawford over on that left side. Also Macbeth, the center, opening up that hole. Sneed looking to throw second and short. Why not try it? It's complete inside Birmingham Prep territory as the catch is made by number 11. That's Blake Brock, his first catch of the year, I believe.
Well, they were talking about it down there at halftime, saying that, you know, they just got to get back to doing what they do, where really it kind of threw them off a little bit to not be able to move the way they wanted to move on offense, and finally getting back in the rhythm of things here as they got 2 first downs in a row.
At the 48, handoff, J.B. Thompson trying that right side this time and gains about 4. Pretty good, well, they'll say 3 down to the 44-yard line. J.B. Thompson, we heard from, I believe it was his high school coach last year at Patriot High School in Virginia, 6.1 yards per rush. He came in averaging 8.4 for the first 3 games. Those numbers are probably going to come down thanks to better defense. But still a good start to the season for J.B. Thompson. I don't have his, I forgot to write down his full name. I was going to wow the audience. Colin Sneed looking to throw here on second down and 7, had the run with it, takes it to the 41-yard line, so it'll be third down and about 4, 5.
Well, Sneed's got a really good play fake. That's the second or third time, I think, today that he's absolutely fooled the defense with, you know, a fake handoff or something like that. And so far it's been really helpful to giving him at least a little bit more time, as his line really hasn't helped him out that much.
Hello to Jordan Daniels watching number 5. That's Johnny Williams, the defensive back, who's made a couple of nice plays defensively. So third down and 4. Sneed facing some pressure. Good blocks, though, and he's got daylight, takes it ahead, and unafraid to take a hit and talk some smack as Tez Watts makes the stop, but not after the Minutemen get a first down.
Well, I kept waiting for him to slide or dive or something there. He just went headstrong into that defender. You don't see that a lot from quarterbacks these days.
I like it. I like everything about it. Colin Sneed is a state champion at Hillcrest High School. He won the 2014 state champion. 8,000 passing yards in high school. He has got an arm on him. Started at North Greenville, which is a Division II, and maybe working his way to a better situation. Here's the handoff now to Cam Brown. Brown goes to the right, takes it to the 27-yard line. Good gain on first down, Harrison.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do. Is just you gotta establish a running game on the early downs, and then, third down, you just give it to your quarterback like Snead just did, and see what he can do with you and move the chains.
Hi to Sherry, who's watching. She said, "Go Bearcats." I think she might be watching the wrong game.
Well, Brooklyn Casey high school rat here. They're the Bearcats. So.
Yeah, no, this is the Palmetto Prep Minutemen.
Even though it says Bearcats on the scoreboard.
That is true.
High school game.
2nd down and 5. Thompson trying to get to the outside. Great defensive pressure there from the Cardinals. And the hit by Tez Watts again. A couple of nice plays for him here today.
Well, they're going to be facing that 3rd down now, and about the same distance as last time. Are they in field goal range yet? What do you think? Inside the 30.
Well, Ramirez is just 3 out of 7 this year, but he does have a 50-yarder, so
And
yes.
he's got the leg for it.
J.C. Howell back in at running back. 2 receivers to the near side. Now it's going to be Brown going in motion. Look at that pitch. What was that? Brock gets away from a defender and scores. Touchdown off the little shovel.
The shovel pass
Trickeration again, Harrison.
Shovel pass, the one-handed catch. That was just an all-around circus play, but hey, it leads to our first score of the game here in the 3rd quarter.
Boy, these guys have come to play here today and making some dangerous trickeration plays to make it 6-0.
Oh, but there is a flag down, though, back at about the 28. As an eligible receiver, I don't know if that was Brock or if that was somebody else, but someone did not check in before that play. And that'll take points off the board. Still no points there.
I'd hate to be that kid because the coaching staff is going to give him an earful. This is what we've seen all afternoon if you're just joining us, folks.
And
Teams
from both
will,
sides, too.
Yeah, from both sides, exactly. March down the field and then shoot themselves in the foot. I mean, Palmetto Prep missed a field goal earlier. Christian Ramirez from about 43 missing. So now it's 3rd down and
about 15.
Yeah. Snead the screen, J.C. Howell, and he takes it to the 35. And it'll be interesting to see what they do here just inside 9 minutes to go here in quarter number 3.
Well, I haven't seen Ramirez in the field yet.
I mean, this would be
It'd be quite a shot.
51 yards.
And here he comes.
All right, so they're going to try it. Ramirez, season long of 50 so far. He has missed one today. It was blocked, I should note.
So this will be about 1 yard longer than his season long, but why not at this point? No score yet.
Yeah, points, all you need. The kick is up, and it's going to be returned now. Remember, DeMarco Wilson, you could do this. We just talked about that Alabama-Auburn game, so Wilson takes it out to the 21, and did he lose yardage on that? Where would they have gotten
Probably the
it?
25, right? Would have been a touchback.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not a beneficial
I mean,
return there, but
you
it could have
can't
been
fault
more.
the kid for trying. I understand.
Yeah, if he breaks that for 6 points, then we're talking about a great play. You know, you got to take chances in a 0-0 game.
So, we'll give him an A for effort, but it does cost them a few yards. Still, the Cardinals will take over here. And it looks like they have Bryce Verbal back out there at quarterback, Devin Walker in at running back as well. Birmingham was able to run the ball very effectively in their opening game victory against New Rock. They have not been able to get it going on the ground here today, as that pass is incomplete, intended for Bryce White over the middle.
Well, you can give credit to the Palmetto defensive line for that. They've really shut down from the first drive any kind of idea that Birmingham be able to run the ball today, and that's forced them to kind of change their game plan. And we heard down in the locker room, defensive coordinator at halftime was saying, look, this is what we've game planned for. We haven't seen anything that they haven't shown us on tape, and we're doing a good job defending it.
2nd down and 10, ball on their own 22-yard line. Cardinals And Minutemen in a defensive struggle here. Screen pass caught by Walker, but he might have lost a couple. He did. He's going to be marked at the 20-yard line. And again, more great pressure. That was Kenny Terry, I believe, getting in there.
Yeah, so third down and about, call it 12 maybe. You got to take a shot here. I mean, it's counterintuitive to take a shot downfield at your own 20, but, you know, time's kind of running out a little bit here.
Yeah, if you're the road team, you don't want to play for overtime. You want to play to win.
Especially with, probably 8-hour drive or so?
Yeah, at least. Nice throw and completion out to the 44-yard line. That's the big play that he was talking about. Mike Simpson with the catch. Simpson from Hueytown. Another one of those Cardinals who last played several years ago. He last played in 2014, at least that's the information that I can find.
Yeah, a lot of guys getting those second opportunities coming out of high school, a few years into college maybe.
Yeah, not everybody necessarily goes right to school after high school. Run up ahead, Devin Walker for no gain. Or some guys might go to school and find out, man, I really miss playing on the weekends, and where can I get an opportunity to do that and still take some classes,
Definitely.
which is essentially what academies are. You know, for example, Palmetto Prep, they're enrolled locally at a junior college here while they work towards, improving their football careers. That's going to be picked off. He threw it right to him. Number 14, Draquan Lindsay. Is that the play the Minutemen need as he takes it to the 33-yard line?
Well, in the way this game was going, it was going to take something special to happen to change this game, as both teams were just deadlocked 0-0, and maybe a turnover is what it needed to be. Maybe, you know, it's going to put them right back where they were, about the 30-yard line, and give them basically a reset from where they were when they last almost scored, I guess is what you could say.
So it'll be 1st and 10 now for Palmetto Prep. 5:14 left to go here in quarter number 3. No score. Chris Sheeman, Harrison Huntley, glad to be with you. We'll be with you next week. That will be North Georgia Prep, I believe, coming in here. Colin Snead taking a shot on the far side. It's caught, but was he inbounds?
They're going to give it to him.
They say it's a catch, 1st and goal. As the catch was made, Kadarius Jackson, he's the big play guy, came in averaging 24.2 yards per catch.
I don't know how he got a foot in on that, but credit to him, as they'll have 1st and goal now, a chance to get our first points again.
Coming out is Brantley Campbell. They're going to bring in the tight end, Jordan Mathis. J.C. Howell in at running back. He's standing behind Colin Snead here. Snead will hand it off. Howell goes right for not much. 2nd down and goal at the 8 to come.
Well, the difference between Palmetto and Birmingham is that Palmetto has a pretty good kicker in Christian Ramirez, and Birmingham says they don't really want to kick that much. They have a guy that can do some kicks, but they've gone for it on 4th down so far twice, and that might be the difference so far if it ends up being a 3-0 kind of game.
Same formation. This time the tight end Mathis goes to the right. 2 receivers as one. Jackson comes in motion to the near side. Handoff. This is J.B. Thompson. Thompson bounces off and tries to go left, but he'll be stopped at the 5 after a gain of 3, and now a 3rd down here.
Now, I would expect if they are going to run, a run to the left to try to center that ball for the field goal. But you also might see a pass here as they bring in a couple more wideouts. You see the tight end package coming out and bringing in a little more speed on the ends.
Some extra support for the defense as well. Tavius Butts checking in for Birmingham. 3 receivers bunched to the far side, and we've got flags.
Well, I think it's going to be a timeout for Birmingham. They only had 10 guys on the field there.
So a timeout for the Cardinals. We will step aside. 2:23 to go in quarter number 3. Palmetto Prep knocking on the door. Well, a little shameless self-promotion for myself there. If you need a website, SEO services, sports broadcasting, I'm better than I normally and than I have been today. Let's put it that way. And radio voice tracking, happy to help. There's the contact information. More importantly, 3rd and goal now from about the 7 for Palmetto Prep here. Sneed's going to throw a fade over on the near side, jumping up and almost coming down with it was Iverson Reese.
That was in Reese's hands, and it got batted out by the defender. Great defensive play, and I'm not sure. I would think they have got a kick here, but quarterback's still on the field.
My question is, why not Jackson? Reese is listed as a DB. Oh, the call was, wait a minute, there's flags down, and it's offside.
Oh, so that was just a let's take a shot because we got a free play here probably.
And that Colin Sneed, see, he's smarter than we are.
And they're going to bring back in the jumbo package here.
So the ball moves to the 3-yard line.
Yeah, they sub Reese and Campbell out, and they bring in Blake Brock and looks like Jordan Mathis at the tight end. Probably going to be a run here.
Both tight ends lined up to the right side. J.B. Thompson tries to go right, and Birmingham was all over it. Getting there first, Devon Blackman and his Merriman who make the stop. Also there was Devontae Young. I mean, they knew it was coming, and they were ready for it.
Well, if you bring in 2 extra tight ends and put them on the same side, that's a good indication of where the ball's going, and they made that assumption and made a good stop. Backs him up to only about a 30-yard field goal now.
So here comes Christian Ramirez. 3 out of 8 on the season. Had one blocked earlier. This one a lot closer, and now we got flags.
Going to be a false start there, and back up there 5 yards.
So it'll go from a 26-yard attempt to a 31-yard attempt. Will somebody get on the board here? Can Ramirez break the tie?
If he does, I could see this very well being a 3-0 victory for Palmetto.
Has Birmingham had the football in this quarter? Yeah, they had it once, right?
Yeah, just the 3 and out. Or the interception.
Hold is good. Kick is up. It's going to be wide left.
That was almost blocked.
To the Cardinals.
That may have been tipped or someone got a hand on it because that was a low kick and still no score.
So we remain scoreless, 1:14 to go here in quarter number 3. And the momentum now to the Cardinals. So what do you do if you're Birmingham Prep now to try to take advantage of it here?
Well, apparently you're bringing in a new quarterback. They're going to bring back in Darius Brooks to see what he can do with this offense after the interception from Verbal.
Brooks, great quarterback at Houghton College in Louisiana. 2 receivers to each side. He's going to pitch it out. That's deflected. And a nice defensive play there by Hassan Nisbet from Mallard Creek, North Carolina.
Yeah, and the Minutemen continue to just live in the backfield of Birmingham, and that's the reason they haven't really gotten a lot going as far as either the passing game or the running game.
1:09 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. 2 missed field goals for Palmetto Prep, and Birmingham moved the football in the first half pretty well, but shot themselves in the foot with some penalties and good pressure by the Minutemen backers and front line.
Well, you could say that on the last drive too, as they had some momentum going and then threw an interception.
2nd and 10 now. Brooks, the option pitch, gets it out to Derek Dunnigan, and Dunnigan wrapped up with a flag down away from the play.
Probably going to be a hold just judging by the spot of that flag, and it will be.
So that will likely back up the Cardinals, and this seems to be the theme. This is our first or our second academy or prep school broadcast, and this does seem to be the prevailing theme is penalties.
Yeah, I mean, and you can expect that just because, you know, every player here has some reason, you know, why they're not at the level they want to be yet, and, you know, that's why they're here. They're trying to get better, and you know, so you talk about guys that still making the miscues because they're just either guys that graduated 3 years ago getting back into the game, or guys that, are trying to work on a certain skill and not really thinking about, dumb plays like this.
So 2nd and 20 at the 10-yard line. Brooklyn Casey Stadium is where Palmetto Prep's games are played. If you're able to come out next week and check out a game. Straight ahead, and nothing doing for Dunn again. A sea of defenders. 96 was in there. DeMar Donaldson from Boynton Beach in Florida making the stop.
Well, and Malik Ball from Birmingham, who's actually a local from Columbia, he had the one block there. He actually brought his blocker to the ground, and everyone else missed the assignment and had several Minutemen in the backfield.
So, 3rd down and 21 now. Play clock is already down to 7 here as the 3rd quarter winds down. Brooks just going to hand it off. Coming back in, Devin Walker trying to get to the outside, and he'll be stopped at the 9-yard line. Tackle on the play by Akifio Carson. And that wraps up quarter number 3, folks. 15 more minutes to go. Will somebody score, or will we have our first overtime of the season? We'll find out when we come back. Right now, Birmingham and Palmetto Prep, the EAC conference foes, battling in a close one. We're scoreless. We'll be back. Before we start quarter number 4, I want to give a shout out to the Minutemen. As we all know, weather has been an issue in the South especially, and in the Texas area. And this is the Minutemen volunteering at Harvest for Hope in the Columbia, South Carolina area, helping the folks down there in Texas. And they volunteered while this was going on, is when Irma came up and paid us a little visit ourselves. So there's the Minutemen. Yeah, they were doing some work as well. Starting the 4th quarter here with a punt. Brian Bell has done a great job kicking for Birmingham Prep. Akifio is going to pick it up, though, take it to the 40-30 and dive forward. So great field position for the Minutemen. On the tackle was number 29. That's Keandre Croxton. Chris Sheeman, Harrison Huntley, glad to be with you as Palmetto Prep takes over with good field position here in the 4th.
Yeah, 15 minutes left and about 29 yards to the end zone. And, Palmetto Prep has had the ball for most of the second half so far, but still nothing to show for it. And I don't know what it's going to take. They had a pretty chip shy of a field goal last time, and that went low, and had the ball inside the 5 last time. Couldn't get anything out of that either.
The defense has done its job all season, allowing just 21.3 rush yards per game. They have stomped out the Cardinals' rush attack here this afternoon. It's a 2-back set now. Thompson and Howell. Howell will get the handoff and try to find some room and not get much as he's stopped by Blackman for the Cardinals, and a flag is down.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a cut block there, or rather a chop block from the signal there.
I mean, you can't keep committing penalties and expect to win games. Of course, when your opponent is doing it with as much ferocity as you, but that's a 15-yard penalty.
And now they're out of field goal range.
So 1st down, and it's from the spot of the foul, so it's not it is 1st and 25. try to be an optimist here. At least it's first down.
Absolutely.
Colin Snead rolling, facing pressure, dancing around, still looking to complete a throw, and he does. Gains all the yards back and then some, as that pass is caught by Tyreek Martin.
Well, and Colin Snead's got to be feeling pretty good about himself there. He juked out 4 defensive linemen. I don't know what that was from the Palmetto offensive line, but Snead says, no, I got this, and jukes them all out and still turns in a pretty good throw.
From a 1st and 25 to a 2nd and 8. Colin Snead looking to sling it again. Over the middle, pass is caught. Take it to the house, young man. Cam Brown for the first time this season, and the scoreless battle is broken.
I mean, I hate to say it, but about time, man. Like, they finally found a way to get on the board, and that's probably the difference in this game, if I had to guess. I know there's 13 minutes left, but Birmingham's got to be feeling the pressure now.
So Cam Brown, his first touchdown reception of the season. And now the extra point to try to make it 7-0. The holder, Brantley Campbell, able to get it down. The kick is up. The kick is good. And it's Palmetto Prep 7, Birmingham 0. Just underway here in the 4th quarter. So the Cardinals have been punched. Will they punch back? We'll find out here in just a couple of minutes. We're going to step aside. We'll bring in the kickoff here in just a second. There you see the upcoming schedule. We'll have the broadcast for you on October 1st and 15th. North Georgia Prep and Fork Union coming to town. Fork Union, I believe, is a military school, so that'll be interesting. We'll see if there's as many penalties in that one. Kicking off is Christian Ramirez, 7-0 Palmetto Prep. Cam Brown, 20-plus yard touchdown reception from Colin Snead. On the return, it's Devin Walker. Walker through to the 30, 40, and just stepping out of bounds. We'll see where they spot him. I think he was past the 40, though. And it'll be just past the 40 at the 41-yard line. So, if you're Birmingham Prep, this is a team that really hasn't had its head down much. So you've been punched, but you get a nice return here, so some momentum going into this drive, Harrison.
Yeah, and Birmingham has to get something here, and since they don't really kick field goals, it's got to be a touchdown, because I don't think you can go 3 and out here and tell your defense, all right, well, we need another stop from you, especially after the way the last drive went.
Bryce Verbal back in at quarterback, and timeout is called. So we'll go away, 12:32 left to go in the ball game. We'll be back in just a moment. Quay Thorne on The YouTube live chat asks, whose house? Palmetto house. Well, so far Palmetto Prep getting on the board. Now it's time for the Cardinals to see if they can answer with Bryce Verbal back in at quarterback. 3 receivers to the far side. He completes it over the middle, dragging tacklers with him. As that pass is complete to Mike Simpson, I believe. No, let me correct myself there. It's Jesse Reagan. That's the local product from here in Irmo. Chris Sheeman and Harrison Huntley, glad to be with you. Our second of 4 regular season broadcasts. 1st and 10 now, and that pass off the mark again intended for Reagan.
Throwing a bit behind Reagan there as Verbal trying to make something happen with all the pressure in his face.
Good pressure from both teams is the story of this one, although Palmetto Prep, Colin Sneed with a touchdown pass, his 6th of the season just moments ago. Verbal again. This game has just gone over an hour and a half long, and we're in the 4th quarter. Unbelievable. Verbal pass is caught on the far side of your screen. It's complete to number 27, Benji Marshall, and another first down, and here comes Birmingham Prep. What'd I tell you during the timeout?
You said that Birmingham's going to score on this drive.
This quarter is going to see 70 points, I guarantee.
Make up for all the lost ones.
It's college, you got to. Verbal on the near side, that one a little bit too high. Again, it's intended for Marshall. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 at the Palmetto Prep 33-yard line.
I don't know, though. I've seen this before from both teams where you think, oh, they're well on the way to scoring on this drive, and then a few penalties and miscues later, and they're forced to punt.
It's been nice chatting with those of you who have said hello on YouTube. If you would like to chat with us, you can also use hashtag Palmetto Prep on Twitter. You can use it on Facebook and Instagram. I've only got so many eyes, though. Bryce Verbal facing some pressure again. Pass complete over the middle. And again, it's Reagan, and it's another first down for the Cardinals. Palmetto Prep breaking the ice at the 12:40 mark with a Cam Brown touchdown catch. And now the Cardinals are on the march. Timmy Croxton has come in as receiver. He's one of the slot guys on the near side. Delayed handoff. Taking it to the left side, Dunnigan, and Dunnigan, correction, that's Cord Jenkins getting down to the 14-yard line. So a good 7-yard, 8-yard gain on first down there, Harrison.
Yeah, I mean, they're inching closer and closer. I mean, I think if everything keeps going the way it is, they'll get a score on this drive, but who knows? We've seen them make some mistakes in previous drives.
Devin Walker back in at running back for Birmingham Prep. The Cardinals 1-0, Palmetto Prep 3-0. Verbal rolls to the right, flag is down. Verbal trying to get away, throws it deep in the end zone and over the head of number 17, Will Sparks. And a flag is down, as I mentioned, so we'll check that. Likely a hold.
I don't think so, just judging where the spot of the foul is and everything.
Yeah, Birmingham Prep's backing themselves up.
Yep, back to the 28-yard line. And like you've said, all game, it's just been this cycle of getting some momentum going, getting down inside whatever yard line, and then backing up.
So, 2nd and 16 now. Lone back is Walker, 3 receivers to the far side. Sparks is the receiver on the near side. And that pass is a little bit too high, intended for Marshall. And Bryce Verbal upset with himself there.
Yeah, that's a pretty wide man right there. Wouldn't have gone for a whole lot, but completing those easy passes is a big crux of their offense.
So 3rd down and 16 to come. Sparks remains the lone receiver on the near side. They brought back Reagan. Reagan's going to join Sparks over on that near side, and now they're going to talk about it. Timeout on the field. We will step aside yet again. 6:58 to go in the ball game. 3rd and long when you come back. Third down and long for Birmingham Prep. Chris Shima and Harrison Huntley, glad to be with you. 6:58 left to go in the ball game, and 7-0 in favor of Palmetto Prep. So Verbal in the shotgun play action. Here comes the blitz, and Verbal able to get it complete, but Devin Walker fell down at the 15-yard line. So without much of a kicking game, the Cardinals, this is 4-down territory, and they do make it 4th and manageable here.
Even if they had a kicking game, though, I think you go for it here with 6.5 minutes left down in the red zone. I think you got to go for the touchdown here.
So 4th down and the biggest play of the game so far. Bryce Verbal trying to march his team down the field at 4th down and 3 to be exact. The team needs to get to the 12. Rolling right is Verbal. Verbal pass is caught, and that's going to be Marshall for a 1st down. So 1st and goal for the Cardinals.
Well, now it's a lot about clock management, though, because you don't want to score, as they would say, too fast, because you don't want to leave time for Palmetto to march right back down and take the lead again. But at the same time, you still have got to focus on getting those points.
I'm thinking ahead now. If the Cardinals don't have a true kicker on their roster, are they going for 2 or not?
That's true, especially with, you don't really want a tie game. You have to drive back later on today.
I bet you Brian Bell can probably kick an extra point. He's got a leg on him. Devin Walker in it, running back. Verbal facing pressure, has to get rid of it, and he floats it out of bounds. He definitely, I don't think, was outside of the tackle box, but no flag.
I mean, there was no one there when he threw it, but he may have put enough air under it to say that there might have been a man headed that way. I don't know.
2nd down and a host of subs coming on, including the nose guard, Ishmael Ball. So I'm thinking run here, folks. Also back in is Derek Dunnigan at running back, and for the first time we see Verbal go under center. Hand off Dunnigan, and he's stopped. Breaking through, Chase Hartley. Hartley, who made 2 big plays in the victory against Ferrum's JV, makes a big play here.
Had a big 3rd and goal come up here. Like you say, it is 4-down territory at this point, but still, you got to think about it here for Birmingham. Do they want to go back to the pass, or are they going to try up the middle again. I've been thinking pass just because the up the middle runs have not done them well today.
So it's 3rd down and goal from the 8-yard line. Mike Simpson, the receiver on the far side. They're going to pitch it to Dunnigan. Dunnigan going off a tackler, doesn't get in.
I think he is.
He's not down because he was on top of a defender, but they do mark him down just shy of the goal line.
Yeah, you see the referee down there marking the spot. His foot's just about on. Yeah, it definitely was. And look at where the ball is right now, in between the 1 and the goal line.
This is real football right here. 4th and goal. It's just strength against strength right now.
Yeah, there's going to be a timeout here. You got to think quarterback sneak coming up here for Birmingham.
Timeout. We'll keep it here, though. 4:32 left to go. You think quarterback sneak, huh?
With a half yard to go, I don't know. I think.
Wouldn't you bring Brooks in if you're going to do that rather than have Verbal run it?
Or even a direct snap to a running back or something like that. I don't see much reason to take it back a few yards if you're this close to the end zone.
I was surprised on 3rd down, but Dunnigan's made a couple of big plays here in this 4th quarter for the Cardinals, and he made a terrific run and wisely kept going when he was on top of the defender, because you're not down until you yourself are down.
Right, and a credit to the refs there, too, of not calling him down. He kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and he just about got a score on that.
So we'll see. So far this afternoon, the Palmetto Prep defense, especially that front line, has stopped anything up the middle. Check the subs. On defensive end, Joey Purifoy has come in.
And there is a man wide that you can't see on your screen. He's all the way down the end zone.
Mike Simpson on the far side. Dunnigan in, and I believe
Fumbled
the snap was fumbled. Palmetto Prep recovers. Coming out with the football is number 17, Akithio Carson.
When it won't matter if you got the fumble or not, as long as they didn't get in the end zone. It's going to be a turnover on downs. And
what a play by the defense. I mean,
I don't know if it's a defensive play or just a miscue on the offense. I mean, I'm sure that there was some noise or whatever, but just a really bad time for a fumbled snap.
Mason Sanders, the center, Bryce Verbal, the quarterback, and those two had been in the shotgun for most of the day. I mean, the first time they went under center, everything went fine, but if you're not comfortable with it, just because the first time it works doesn't mean the second time it will. Now, Colin Sneed in at quarterback, J.B. Thompson at running back. The tight end Mathis in motion to the left as Thompson with a nice run up the middle to take it to the 6-yard line and just get some breathing room.
Well, I was going to say, you got to be careful here down that close to the goal line, but great run there, and they've got a little bit of space now. About 2nd and 5 maybe.
So 4:06 and counting. The clock is now Palmetto Prep's best ally here. Birmingham Prep, I don't think, has called many timeouts.
You can see Steed just watching the play clock right now, waiting for it to get under 10.
Yep. Right now it's at 7. Tight end Mathis in motion again. JB gets another handoff. First down and then some. He almost broke it. Stopped at the 14 by the shirt. Upshaw making the tackle for the Cardinals, or Thompson might have broke it for some length.
That's a big first down because you now get 3 more plays of which you just sit on the ball and watch the clock melt away.
So we're at 3:27 now with the play clock at 18. So Birmingham, I think once you get inside 3 minutes is when you'll see them start to use their timeouts. They're listed as having 3 left on the scoreboard here.
I feel like they called at least 1 back there, though.
Colin Sneed, the fake. He's going to keep it to the 20. Stay in bounds. He does. And he's going to be dragged out of bounds after a big run out to the 37-yard line.
He's got a great play fake. Faked me out, too, actually, with the camera. But a great run, another first down. And Some points wouldn't be a bad thing here. I'm sure they're not going to throw the ball, but if you move the ball this well on the ground, you'll be talking about maybe 3 more points.
So inside 3 minutes to go now, Birmingham Prep. It's probably going to depend on what happens here on first down, whether or not you start using your timeout. But if you have them left, this is the time.
Well, if you can't stop them, you got to get second and third down and start using those. But if you can't stop from getting first downs, not much help.
J.C. Howell is in, no gain. And now we should see a timeout here. Clock continues to run. It says they have 3, but I don't think that's correct.
I don't think that's accurate. I think they have 2, maybe even 1, actually.
So they may have to wait a little bit longer here again. Quay Thorne giving us some good info. I guess big number 17, Akethio, who came up with the fumble recovery. They call him Pickle.
Pickle.
That's good to know. 2nd and 10, play clock at 4 when it was snapped. Colin Sneed trying to get to the outside, just wrap it up as he was sacked by Brian Bell, who's done it all, and now we see the timeout.
Very surprising there to see any kind of, not a passing attempt, but at least a play call for passing. I would think you'd want to just lay on the ball and take the air out of it.
Well, it's going to be a 3rd down and 12 after the timeout. How about a guy, and neither one of us are coaches, but we've been around coaches. How about a guy like Brian Bell? Where does he get a look for all the different things that he can add to a team?
Absolutely. I mean, if nothing else, you bring a guy on who can play safety, but he can also kick if you need him to. Your kicker goes down, you don't have to bring a walk-on from the soccer team on. You can just say, oh, no, we got this guy. He can kick a few times.
That's something that, a D2 looks at, an NAIA looks at. They love those players that can do multiple things.
Yeah, really, it's just a bang for your buck kind of thing. You only have so many players on the roster. You get a guy that does more than one thing. That's a huge asset to a team with very, very limited just jersey numbers.
Well, folks, 1:46 left to go. Will the Cardinals get the football back? It's going to be 3rd down and 12, so it looks good if they can make a play here. J.C. Howell back in at running back. Colin Sneed has 2 receivers to the near side. The tight end Mathis offset to the far side of your screen. And 1:46 to play. It's going to be a handoff, and here comes the rush. The nose guard, Nolan Brown, making the stop. And I don't see him calling another timeout, so I think
that must
they
have been
only
the last
have
one
left. So it's going to come down to about a minute left for Birmingham Prep. Man, this is I wouldn't mind. These guys are going to make up the game that they missed in Alabama on November 12th, and then there's a good chance we might see these two teams again here a week later on November 19th for the conference championship. Mark McCloskey back to kick, and back to return is Demario Brown, I believe. Correction, it's Benji Marshall.
And they're going to take the delay of game penalty, knock themselves back 5 yards, and take the maximum amount of time off the clock.
I understand that if you're at the 40. I don't know if you're at the 30.
I think just 5 yards, and you got to trust your punter that he's going to really get into this one.
So McCloskey giving it all he's got here. Benji Marshall standing at midfield. The rush, it's blocked! It's blocked! Picking it up on the run is number 24, Quante Williams. But Birmingham Prep makes the play they need. 48 seconds left. They've got it 1st and 10 on the Palmetto 30.
I think it's worth noting that the team video coordinator for Palmetto said the first team to block a punt would win this game. And we'll have to see what happens here. 48 seconds left to find out if that'll come true.
It will be Bryce Verbal back out there at quarterback. We've seen Brooks as well.
Well, why not? He's the one that led the touchdown drive, or the almost touchdown drive.
Devin Walker in at running back. Bryce White, one of the slot receivers on the near side. Mike Simpson also on the near side at receiver. Verbal dancing around, throwing a bomb. Akithio almost picked it, and it's through both he and the receiver.
Well, we got to talk about now. I didn't catch the name on the player recovered the block punt, but that's huge now as they're going to be starting, I don't know, about 10, 15 yards farther back than they would have been. That's a game changer if this game ends the way it is.
Cam Brown, a touchdown reception with 12:40 to go in the fourth quarter to make it 7-0 after the extra point. That's all we've had today so far, folks. The defenses have come to play, but this has been an exciting one to watch. Verbal throwing it, and it's picked off. Oh, no. Jason Williams comes up with the pick. Just go down, young man. Just go down.
There's a flag on the play now as well.
2 flags down as he takes it to the 29-yard line. Oh, you hate that for Verbal as he just got a bad. That was just a bad throw.
Absolutely, and you know he had to throw it because if you take a sack, you're really in trouble because you don't have any timeouts left. So he's got to force a throw, but at the same time, you can't force that kind of throw.
Palmetto Prep is celebrating.
It's going to be a block in the back on the return.
Yeah, so the interception stands, and big defensive plays for the Minutemen. That's the story of this one, as they'll take a knee here in victory formation. 26 seconds left, and we're a kneel down away from a 4-0 start for Palmetto Prep.
And just a really good game for the Palmetto Prep defense, as the offense had their struggles but managed to get them just enough points to win this game, and the defense held to the shutout the entire game. A great effort on their part.
Tip your cap to Birmingham Prep. The Cardinals came in and gave it their all, but just one mistake too many. Colin Sneed, the kneel down, and that will do it. So Sneed with his 6th touchdown throw of the season to Cam Brown, who catches in the end zone for the first time this year. The extra point was good. That was at the 12:40 mark. And Palmetto Prep is 4-0 as Birmingham Prep falls to 1-1. Harrison, any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Well, we knew it would be a battle in the trenches, and that's what it was. It's 7-0 slim game, and Palmetto Prep gets the shutout, which is huge to their defense.
So what a victory for the Minutemen. Don't forget, their next game is also our next broadcast. It'll be Palmetto Prep and North Georgia Prep, Sunday, October 1st. That's next week. Coverage on YouTube starting at 2 p.m. My thanks to Harrison. Good working with you again, my friend. Also, Wes Dorton, everybody here at Palmetto Prep. The folks with Birmingham, especially Charlie Dudley, a big thanks to him. And, of course, all of you who watched this incredible game. A very defensive-minded, defensive battle, something you don't see very often anymore, and it was fun to watch. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Don't forget, join us again on October 1st, the Minutemen and North Georgia Prep at 2 p.m. Until then, enjoy the rest of your week, everybody. Once again, your final score, it's Palmetto Prep 7, Birmingham 0. Take care.